Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday, and today we're going to take a look at Mainfreight, which is our share and review. Just remember that this is for educational purposes only, certainly not intended to be personalised financial advice. That actually do need to go and talk to your own financial advisor. Right, let's take a look at Mainfreight and see how that's been performing. Right, I've got Mainfreight up here on the screen, and this is over a 5-year period, and you can see through here, it has been an absolute downtrend. So basically since the 3rd of March, every week since then, Mainfreight has gone down. Now, this is one of New Zealand's biggest, obviously, freight movement companies. And so this is really quite interesting. What this on the back of, I really don't know, because I don't go into what's actually happening with the individual companies. For me, when I look at shares, I'm looking at purely the charts and what is happening. I mean, Mainfreight has been a stellar company in the past, and you can see through this period here. Look at this. This was 2020 when we had COVID, and like a lot of shares, it fell. It felt quite heavy, but look at this phenomenal run up until, it sort of peaked around September 2021, so about a year and a half. So we had a phenomenal run. Then it's been slowly trending down, but what we're getting, you can see through this period here, which is June 22, it had a fall and then we bounce. Then we've had another fall and then we've had another bounce, and there's quite a pattern here. So what that indicates to me is that there are people out there buying the dip on Mainfreight, and that's what causes a bit of a rally, but then it falls further. But the thing that you need to be aware of, that these lows are getting lower and the highs are also getting lower. That is the sign, definitely, of a share that is in a downtrend. And when I move back to where we are in the current day, you can see that now as well. That's really quite prevalent. And you can see also through this period here, which is March last year down to about October last year, fairly it sold off. We had another rally. It started to go sideways. We had another rally again, and then so since August last year, this share has been an absolute decline. We'll have a quick look at the yearly chart just to give us the daily. And yeah, it's really fallen quite heavy, quite sharply since November 2024. It's just been declining. And if you look to the right-hand side here, basically since April this year, we're seeing huge volumes of that share coming off. Although last week we did see a bit of a gap. There was a bit of buying pressure back on the 10th, so that was Thursday, but then it sold off again on Friday. So for me, just even looking at this without running any indicators over it, this is definitely not a share that I would be interested in owning. And in fact, Mainfreight was a share I owned some time ago, some years ago. It certainly hasn't been on my radar for quite some time because of all of this volatility. There's something you might also be aware of, and to those that aren't, when you get a market sell-off and you get people buying the dips, which you can see happening quite a bit, and that's why you've got the staircase pattern forming. That's what is known in investment terms as a dead cat bounce. So even if you dropped a dead cat, it's still going to have some bouncing. But of course, the bouncing isn't going to be as high as the initial one, and the subsequent bounces are going to be lower. And that's exactly what's happening here with Mainfreight. Let's bring our moving averages over and just to take a look, just to see what they're saying. So remember, I used the 30 exponential, and I also run over the 15 exponential. And because I'm using this on a weekly chart, this will be a 15-week moving average or a 30-week moving average. And as you can see, the market has definitely crossed below, so that 15-week moving average crossed below around the middle of February this year, and it's just heading south. We only saw it cross to the upside only briefly, and that was around sort of July last year. It was only very brief, and it was basically just that 1 week that drove that candle drove that movement. But again, it's just been falling since then. So certainly, like I keep saying, it's not a share I want to own. In fact, if I cast my eye back over the volume chart down the bottom here, look at this big red spike here, which was the week, basically the 13th of September, whatever that week was. There was a lot of selling there, and basically that's where it's been heading. Let's just take these off, and we will also get an idea. We'll just put a comparison on the main board and just see how that is comparing that. Here we go. So if you saw the video on Tuesday, the New Zealand market's definitely under a lot of pressure as well. And given Mainfreight is one of the biggest companies on the New Zealand Stock Exchange, it's not the biggest, but it's certainly up there. It's in the top 5. It's definitely having a negative impact on the overall performance of the market. That, and obviously so much other. So even though it is trading above the New Zealand main indices, both are in a downtrend. They're both trading below their 15 and 30-week moving averages. We've seen the 15-week cross through the 30-week. So definitely not a buy signal from me. So I'll stop sharing. So I hope that's helped. Thank you for listening, and please keep those comments coming. They help me create content for you, which is obviously of value, and I love doing them. So love to hear what you have to say. So till next week, take care.